Hi, I'm Max Fab, and today I'm doing a craft. I don't know if this craft is going to take multiple videos or what, but it's definitely gonna be long, so there might be more than one part. I'm gonna do this in at least two videos. One in where I attempt to figure out how to do it, and the other one where I show you how I do it. So stay tuned for that, because this one will probably come out first. Anyways, I want to make a library for my dolls slash like a room to put all my doll books, specifically because anytime I get miniatures I'm like, how am I going to display these? And so I've made like shelves for like my dolls to put their dolls on, and I think that's really cute. But I really like doll books, and I've been looking at getting more, and I'm like, where am I gonna put them? And I think if I do that I can do like comfy stuff. So I was thinking of like doing two things. One, making like a cute cozy room that looks like somebody just has bookshelves in their room, but like bookshelves covering the wall, making like a cute ladder, like aesthetic wise, and then later on being able to turn it into just a regular library so I can play that, take photos of both, like a cute comfy place, and then having like shelf, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking. Today I'm going to just do making a cute comfy cozy library room is my thought. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing today. And we're gonna see how to do it. So first I have to make the room, and I kind of want to go off of a room that I made a while ago because it needs to be big enough to where once I put the shelves in, there's still space in the room to like put a couch and like a comfy little area. So that's what I'm thinking, is making it that size, and that's kind of a big room. I've been making craft stuff. Oh, you can't even see. I made like a giant pool thing right here. It sits here because I don't really have space for it. So I don't know where I'm gonna put this one either, but that'll be a later me problem. Anyways, I'm hoping that it turns out good, but I can't promise that it does. So in this video, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut out the walls, and then after I figure out how long I want them, I'll measure them and tell you how long they are. And I also am thinking of two methods for gluing it. So that room that I did, I used hot glue to glue the rooms. I actually think I did a video showing how I did it, but anyways, I used hot glue and they just come off so easily. So I'm thinking, and this is going to take at least 2 or 3 days, which is why I'm like not really in the mood to do that, but I'm going to add Elmer's glue to the hot glue, and I'm hoping that it'll help seal it. You might think like Elmer's glue, but I've used Elmer's glue on some stuff and that is sturdy. The only issue is that it takes forever to dry, and you gotta wait forever. So I'm hoping that it works. I guess there's other glues that I could use. I used a clear glue. I can't think of what it is. Maybe like tacky, and that is super sturdy. But I'm thinking of using Elmer's glue once I've hot glued it, and I'm hoping that that like really helps it stick, because that one, it's not like it's not super annoying, because like once you know do whatever, then all you have to do is if the walls fall apart, you just have to re-glue them with hot glue. But it's kind of annoying, and I want it to be more sturdy. And then I was also thinking about the sturdiness, because once I start adding shelves and I add books, so I'm hoping that I can kind of like deal with that. But I'm gonna be starting off with foam board, and I might run out of foam board, so we might use cardboard. We're starting with foam board. I don't know what I'm going to use for the shelves. Maybe for foam board. Mine is black because I was going to get white foam board, but they didn't have that. And I'm thinking about putting like this stuff, because it's tape, because that's what I used on my other one. The only thing is like this is kind of a big print, and it gives more of like bathroom vibes, and I don't really have like paper that I have a lot of like one thing, but I'm hoping that the shelves will cover the walls, but I haven't really decided. And if I make it super tall, then the wallpaper choice is kind of like, I only have so much stuff, so I'm definitely contemplating a lot. And if you paint it, the walls could warp, so a lot of thinking. I think I might just go with this, even though I'm not really too keen on it, because I think the shelves will cover it, but if I don't cover it, I'm nervous that if I do like just black, that it'll be too dark. So I'm hoping that this will lighten it up a little bit. It is giving like bathroom, but I'm hoping maybe I can like add stuff, if you can see it, to make it less bathroomy, if that makes sense. I don't know how I feel about the print. The contemplation. I do also have like a floor print, but we're not going to get that yet. It's not a tape, or it's not a sticky one like a sticker. It's wrapping paper kind of, so we'll see. But let's try to figure out what size walls I need. Okay, so my last one was 14 inches high, specifically because I was using paper that it was extra tall paper, 14 inches to be exact. So I'm using this. It's a little piece because I like to be able to paint different pages and put it in my art. I don't know, like make my own wallpaper. So I'm using this piece of paper, 14 inches. I don't know how long I want it though, is the issue. So I did. That is 14 inches. Okay, so I'll cut on this. I just need to figure out how long I want it to be. This way. I don't need it to be insanely long, but I guess once I figure out, I'll kind of compare it to what my wall is. I got a new X-Acto knife. Okay, maybe. I got a new X-Acto knife because I lost my other one, in case you didn't know that. Where did I put it? So it's thick. She was like $5. I've never spent this much on an X-Acto knife. Usually I get them from the dollar store. She's thick and big, and I'm ready to cut it out. Hopefully she does. Whoa. I've never had an X-Acto knife that works this well. Okay. You can't even see her, okay? Don't look at the mess on the floor. I thought this was a bug. It's not a bug. Anyways, we're cutting on the line. I'm wearing Halloween pajamas. By the time this comes out, Halloween might actually be over, but that is okay. Whoop. Oh my gosh. That was like actually beautiful. It cut so well. Okay, it didn't fully cut, but that's okay. I think because I stopped partway through. Here's my piece. Now I need to figure out like what I want. Oops. Of course Frankie fell. I need to see actually compared wise. So like the specific reason that I chose 14 inches is I wanted it to be, oh, you can't even see. Sorry. Okay, there we go. I wanted it to be tall enough to be able to fit my doll. So here's like a Monster High doll. I have a Barbie right here. That's significantly tall. Oops, I'm so sorry. But I need, the tall Barbies are like way over there. I don't have a tall Barbie close to me to give you a reference, but it fits the tall Barbies and Ken's on like in here, which is what I wanted. So now I need to see how long I need this to be. If I want this to be the back of the wall or the like side, I don't know. I haven't decided, but we'll see. Okay, so I need 4 walls, and to simply make it easy, the top or the bottom, the floor, and then the back of the wall is going to be this height. So I just made 2 of these. This one needs to be, I think I want to do 14 inches. So, okay, hear me out. It's got to be a little bit longer to account for the backing of this. So I'm going to cut it a little bit. Well, okay, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I kind of did measuring, and I'm hoping that it's this length. This just looks so much longer than the 14-inch board. Do you see that? Like, it goes so much, but I'm going to go with my trusted idea, and I'm going to cut it this way out, right? Because 14 inches high, so this would be the base, and I got to figure out... Gotta get like little markings. And I'll have to cut 2 of these, by the way. That was not made aware. To make it extra hard on myself, I think I want a door. So I'm gonna move it in. I know that this is going to make it less sturdy, but I'm hoping that that's okay. And I want to make sure that this is like all the right spot. So I'm feeling like I want it out here, which would be about, what is that? That's not a good measurement.
It's got so many different things on here. Hopefully I picked one of them to be the correct, no. Okay, let's mark it at 8 inches. And just move it up a bunch of times to get a consistent something. Okay, I think that'll be good. Okay, and then I don't know how tall I want it, so we'll just figure that out. And the reason why I marked so many is because, like, I'm hoping that, like, one of them will be lined up. Okay, so I'm using my Barbara Alyssa, and she's smaller than the ruler. So if I go all the way, like, the height of the ruler, I think that'll be good. And I can probably, like, I feel like this seems to be, like, the right whatever. So let's see if that's even. I should have kept going, by the way. Straight line. I'm gonna go all the way to the top, by the way. Oops. I wasn't even connected. What the heck? Okay. Even though I'm not gonna cut that long. So what is the measurement here? Again, there's gotta be a good no, I did not even hit an even number. Nope. Keep turning until I find one. No. Okay, what about here? Inches wise. By the way, I didn't even say, did I tell you what number it was on here? Oops, Jesus. I don't remember what measurement I used. Sometimes I just pick random ones and I'm like, oh, okay, it's on this one. It's doesn't tell me. I'm gonna go, this is centimeters. Okay. It's close to 5.5 inches. But I want it further than that. And I know that I could just pick the number, but I don't think I'm going to keep track. Okay, it's on 44 here. If we mark it at 44, I don't know what this is though. 1/8. Whatever this measurement is what we're on. And we're going, not the greatest, 44, 44. Works for me. 44. 44. And one more. 44. That was also, if you want to do that in centimeters, which I think that's what I was on originally, that'd be a little over 28 centimeters, about 28 and maybe 1/4 maybe. I don't know, 1 past 28. I don't know. It's not to the half or the quarter mark, so that's too much math. We're not doing that today. Okay, straight line, I see. I don't know why I do this to myself sometimes, but that's okay. Okay, door. Alyssa, I guess I didn't see if anybody else could fit through the door. I was just like, she seems right. The thing is that I want Rainbow High Dolls to be able to use it, and I have a feeling that they're not going to be able to fit through this door now that I've measured it out so beautifully. I do have a Rainbow High Dolls here. Honey. So her hair is not going to be able to make it through, but I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine. As long as she, like, slides this way through the door, I think it's fine. Everybody else is going to have the best time going through the door. I think the only one that I didn't account for is Rainbow High. I think OMG will be fine. Fingers crossed, because those are another doll line that I really like. Ever After High, Monster High, they'll probably get through. Rainbow High we might be a little nervous for. Obviously some of the bigger size dolls I don't always account for. Like, I don't account for my Avistar and stuff, but I'll definitely see who can fit through this door. Now I need to see how tall I wanted it, because I didn't do that either. I'm thinking 12 inches tall. Again, should I do the full ruler height? I feel like 12 is fine. I feel like 12 is fine. Oh, I should probably go over a little. Boop. Boop. I feel like that wasn't on the right thing, by the way. Boop. Okay, please. Where'd you go? Okay, is it perfect? No. I'm gonna save the piece that I cut out. Hopefully it looks good. Let's just quick look again. I just feel like now that I'm looking at it, it's not tall enough. Okay, that's okay. Maybe we will just go the height of my ruler. I just don't want it to be diagonal. Is that good? That seems good. And I feel like Alyssa's gonna fit through it fine. Yeah, and there's gonna be this, and if I need to reinforce it, we can deal with that later. Let's cut it out. Okay, so I'm using this, and I cut out one to start. It's just tape, so it's sticky. Hopefully it doesn't stick to itself. That would be really annoying. Oh no, it's just really long. Oh no, don't let it stick to my hair either. Okay, and once it's stuck, not stuck to my hands anymore, I'm gonna place my board down whatever way I want. And I just gotta remember I put these on the bottom, so I have to make sure that I put that on the back, because I'm not gonna cover the back. I guess I should do it further up in case the paper covers it. And then I'm gonna get scissors and cut the corners. So now I have glued everything together and obviously taped everything. Here's how we're looking. Can you see it all? It's quite large. Like, it's very large. I did the little door here. I have to obviously make the door, and there's hair everywhere. Again, I'm not 100% sure how I'm feeling on the color, but I like the flooring. Sometimes I don't always love this paper. It's actually like a wrapping paper type of thing, because it's like a pink, but I think that it looks really nice here, and I think I'm gonna like it. We're gonna pretty much cover all the walls though with shelving, which is what I want. So that's what my next step is going to be, is to work on cutting a bunch of shelves in the leftover, whatever this is, poster board, down to size, and covering pretty much everything. I'm gonna start, this is coming up a little bit, I'm gonna have to make sure that all of the stickers stay down because it's coming up on the side a little bit. I'm gonna do a frame around the door, I feel, and then start from here all the way around is kind of my want, and I hope that I can do that. So we'll see. Lots of definitely cutting them out, and then the only thing I'm gonna have issues is, do I paint this or do I put something here? I'll think about painting, see what it looks like. We'll do a quick looky-loo, I guess, and then we'll see, but I haven't decided fully. Yeah, let's go on, I guess. Okay, so I literally had to dig because I could not find these. I wanted to, because like what inspired me to make them is like little mini books. I was thinking doing like 1 inch, but 1 inch was way too small. I think I'm on the inches, but I could be wrong. 1 inch is like here. There's not an inch, there's no way. There we go. 1 inch is like here, and that's way too small. Like, that barely fits some of these books. These books are like 1 inch this way. So I took my biggest book that I have out of them that I got. There's a shoe. And I think it's a Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things, yeah. So yes, I just have to make sure. So putting all my books back, I kind of measured it. Like, there's no way, by the way, this book here is way bigger than the 1 inch mark. Oh, you can't really see it. I was gonna try to zoom in. Okay, do you see my little markings now? So here's the 1 inch mark right here, this little dot, not that one, ignore that. Do you see that? Like, that, like, it's way too small is basically what I'm attempting to show you. So I think I'm gonna go with more of the 3, I think that might be 3 inches. It's not even close to 3 inches. What measurement did I use? Sometimes it amazes me the things that I pick on here. Okay, I did a 2 on whatever this is. This is 3/4. You'd think that I'd know the different measurements, but this is just a ruler that has so many things on here. Anyways, it's the red side, and I did 2 out, and I think that that's gonna work, especially because here, I'll give you like a better idea. Can you kind of see that? You can't really. I think that'll be good. Okay, my thought is that if like too many of them are too far back and I don't like how that looks, I can always make a little platform thing for it to like push them forward so they're more towards the edge of the shelf. But this just means that if I get other books to be able to display there, that I'll in theory have room. I do have some bigger ones. The other thing that I'm thinking is that if they're too big to really fit on the shelf this way and like they hang off too much, I could always flip it like this and hope that it doesn't look as bad. We can test some other things. Obviously, if books don't fit on there, I can display them on like a cute little table that I made. But I think that I'm going to go with the 2-inch mark, and I'm just going to cut these into strips, and then we're going to do a little bit of testing is my thoughts. Basically, I'm continuing to cut papers that are roughly the same size, hopefully roughly, and then any leftovers that I have that are... Okay, now this one might actually be a part of you. It's a good size. Anyways, and maybe it's this. Yeah, okay. Any leftover ones that are not little tiny shreds, but are, you know, not big enough to be a part of my shelves, I'm going to keep because I can still use them. Again, this is just me thinking through the process, so who knows if we'll even use half of this stuff, but we're trying. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing the math here. I've cut up a few of them, and this is not nearly enough. I'm gonna have to get my other poster board that I have to start cutting them up. So far this has taken 2 full poster boards. Obviously I have extra scraps here, but that's not an extra scrap. These are extra scraps that I'll be able to continue to use, but I'm gonna need a 3rd one. So keep that in mind. Poster boards have gone up because dollar store is no longer $1.25, rather $1.75. I used these for reference, but they didn't work as well as I wanted them to. So I've come to the conclusion that I think I'll be able to fit about 7 shelves on each wall if I want it to cover the full thing. I want there to be a cap, so that's why I'm doing 7, and I use my biggest book as like a determining factor of what I want, and I think I can get 7. We'll see as we start gluing them. So I want there to be a little bit of space between this so that they can slide in and out, and I want it to be at least this tall. My hope is that I don't have any books that are taller than this, but we'll have to see and hope for the best. So it'll be slightly taller than this book so that again it can slide in and out. The bottom one's not going to be a shelf. I want there to be room for storage, so I'm not gonna put a bottom shelf, and I might regret that, but hopefully I don't, because like I don't know if I'm gonna like it if I have like something like this lining that. So I'm gonna start up here and hope for the best, but we'll see if I change my mind. And again, I think the bottom shelf will be storage or something else if I feel it looks weird. That means that I'm gonna start gluing these in and doing 7 and planning how tall I want them, and then we'll continue to cut up more. I don't even know, do I even have 7 of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8. So I'll be able to start with this side because I think all of them fit. Okay, this one, which a few of them are that length, barely fit. Like, it doesn't fully come out to the edge. Do you see that? But I honestly don't think that's going to bother me because I do want to put something here to kind of block it off. So I think that's going to work. When I start doing this, none of my poster boards are really going to fit, which is why I want to start a new one because I think that'll work. But I also, when I do this one, I need to cut it short because obviously I have a door here. So lots of to take into consideration. When we come back for this, I'll start gluing them here and then cutting out more. It just takes a lot of work, and I think I'm going to start that tomorrow. So yeah, the other thing I can do is I can fit in my 2 shelves that I have, because technically I got shelves here and I can put them somewhere in the room, which I think would be kind of cute. Like if I had like a table or a chair or something, this could be like a little like nightstand or something, and they could put the books in here. Wouldn't they be kind of cute, like the ones that they're currently reading? Don't mind that there's a shoe in it. Anyways, I really want to get more of those books, but I haven't even finished my library yet, so I can't do that. I also have so many things that I want to add to this room, and I haven't even finished the construction, so don't get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, let's see what I can continue to do, and we'll come back for tomorrow because it's gonna be a little bit. Okay, this is day 2 of working on this, and I've gotten the new poster board, so my thing is sitting on it. So a few things. First of all, obviously I'm gonna start cutting that. But I forgot that I wanted to do a door. Well, I didn't forget, but I want to add trim, so I'm gonna cut part of this off and see if it looks decent. We'll see, because I feel like if you do trim and this is covered here, it'll look stupid. So we're gonna see, and then obviously I'm gonna go back to cutting out boards, and hopefully I can start gluing on at least some of them. I'm gonna have to work on the hikes. Like, I don't know how tall I want it and if it's gonna be straight, so like panic, but we'll figure it out, I guess. Okay, so I did leave the top because I'm not really gonna see it, but I guess I could trim it off. Okay, I missed a little piece. This is the back side. But for the most part I got it done, and it's okay if you can see a little bit here because I'm going to cover it up with a trim. I'm also going to paint that, but I haven't decided. We're not working on the door yet. We're still working on the shelves. I'm going to work on the main part. The only reason that I guess I should probably work on the trim is that I need to figure out how big the trim's gonna be here, so I guess we're gonna have to work on the trim. I didn't think about that. I want to still cut some shelves though using this. We'll see. I guess I could start gluing the shelves here on the back wall, and then that'll help determine the rest. But eventually when I get to this side, I'm gonna have to do the trim first. The trim's not gonna be very big, but I still want to work on it. Okay, so how I'm getting like this is I'm measuring, again, I don't know how to read a ruler, so I just pick a number that I think looks good, and I measure from the little nub here, I match it up there, and then I went to 2 for this, and if you see these little lines in it, so I made like little dots, and then I matched the little dots up, and that's how I draw the line, and I make sure that they, like, you know what I mean? So that's how I did that. And I just chose a number that I felt seemed like the right size, so that's how I did that, and I'm just gonna cut them out now. Okay, at some point I'm gonna need stuff about 14 inches, so I kind of marked that at the top. Hopefully it's somewhat straight. I haven't really decided, but I do, before I start gluing anything, I do kind of want to add paint, but maybe I'll hold off on that because I'm gonna have to paint this. I'm gonna paint the trim of the door white. So yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to paint then. I don't want to do that now, so I guess we'll get on to gluing. Once I've cut out all my shelf pieces, they're not 100% straight or even close to being completely straight, so that might be a little bit of an issue, as you can see, when I get to other points, but we'll deal with that when we get there. I am going to be gluing the shelves on about 1.25 inches maybe high, a little bit higher than that. Definitely I feel like under 2 inches, but we'll see if I change my mind on that. Anyways, I'm sure that there are better ways to do this, but basically I cut out 2 pieces of foam board that are slightly larger than my book because I want it to comfortably slide under there, and then I added tape to the back of them in hopes that because this is like, I don't know, supposed to be like plasticky, I don't know, I'm hoping that the tape won't peel it. If I stuck it here, I think that the tape would definitely peel this, so I'm hoping that it doesn't peel that. But now I'm going to attempt to glue it right over top, and then I'll be able to pull those out, but we'll see if it works. Now I have 6 shelves here, and I measured out the next ones for this wall, and I cut hopefully enough like pieces off, and I labeled them, so that's 6 that goes on top, so we'll start at the bottom and glue all the ones here. So now that I've glued on the majority of my shelves, I'm going to begin the trim by painting some strips that are about 1/4 inch that I cut down. They might be too thick, but they're gonna be for now. Okay, anyways, and then once I do at least 2 coats, we'll see what they look like. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the trim that I painted that looks like so and glue it around the door and hope for the best. Okay, so here's the trim. Obviously I need to like peel off the hot glue and stuff that's here,
like that. But anyways, so now we're going to finish here. I'm going to put a, like, I don't know, black shelf here to like cut the end off, because I feel like if I just run it here, it'll look a little weird. Maybe not, I don't know, we'll think. Anyways, I also did a little experiment. I painted one of these and I think it looks decent, like the sides. So I will, because obviously just has like white, I'm gonna probably paint that black. So yeah. Originally I was going to do like a board here, but like small thin things. But then I was looking at photos and I saw like the unevenness and I thought that looked really cool. So the back wall I think is done. I think 2 shelves for each looks nice. I'm still working on the sides, but I really don't want to cut any more paper because I ran out of ones like thick enough to do it. So I'm gonna start painting and we'll come back to the other part. Also, my glue gun is gonna die, so I need to charge it and hopefully find the charger for that, but we'll see. We're gonna paint next and I'll come back and I'll show you it painted, and then I'm gonna have to go back and individually paint the other ones that I added. So yeah. Okay, so here it is. Obviously I still want to add more pieces. Like, I have like nothing here. It's drying still. I do think I'm gonna need to add some more because like I feel like you can see some white here, missed spots. So when I go and add the other pieces in, I'll add it there. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna end it here. This is day 3 of me working on it. Obviously I'm not consistently working on it, but I do like to take into consideration, you know. Anyways. So for the door, I couldn't find my original door, so I had to cut out a new one. So if it's not perfect, don't judge it. I painted the outside. I went with black because I didn't like how I was painting one white, but I didn't like how it's turning out. Then I remember that I have a white poster board. So if I really hate how this looks, I can always do that, but I don't want to change it. I just am nervous that the white border is going to look weird with the black, but we'll see. And then I'm going to be using a pin that I put this marker on. It looks like so yeah. I realized that my doorknob probably has to be much larger than what it is. Also looks like it's in the middle of the door. It needs to be over more. That's okay, we'll deal with that in a different day. Anyways, I pretty much finished up the room, other than I have to add stuff into it, so let's go do that. Okay, so I have 2 options for couches until I make a new one or find a different one. I have this one. This one's homemade. It's quite big, which is why I'm second guessing it. I did think that it would be big enough for the space, but I don't think that it is going to be. I mean, like, it's almost touching there in like the middle. There's not a lot of room, but like for photography, that's not going to be, I guess, an issue. It's just very big and it fits lots of dolls. Example, if I can, here's a fashionista on it. Like, it still has room for someone else, so I like it, but I also understand, like, if we push it back a little, it's almost touching the wall. Then there's, get Alyssa out of the way, a pink one, and it's plastic. It's smaller. It fits 2 dolls, and obviously she's leaning forward. So thoughts, I don't know. We'll see what I choose. Here's a nice option. I got my really weird fabric on the ground. However, with the other couch, I can't have the side table, and I wanted to include it here, but I guess I don't have to. Anyways, I think we're gonna be done with part 1. I know what you're thinking. What about all of the books? Well, I only have opened 2 Mini Brands capsules, and they're kind of expensive. Plus, even if I got all them, that wouldn't be enough for this. So I'm gonna have to make some books, and that's gonna be in part 2. I did also order some online, but they're not coming in for a while, so we're gonna have to make some filler space for what I have. Anyways, I'm Ekta. Thanks for watching. This is part 1 of making my little library. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!